Hi, welcome again to Wisdom Springs. My name is Patrick Gogi. They say that no man is an island, and that's true because you cannot live alone in this planet. You have to be a social. You have to be social. We are social animals, they say, because you have to depend on the other person. It's give and take. You have to relate. You have to have people you live with, and so on. And we have introverts, people who prefer their own companies. We have extroverts, people who can never stay alone. They have to keep on following where people are, making connections and being out there. But then again, how much of this time that we spend getting connected with the others, how much should we give that time for that connection? Well, depending on each individuals, obviously, a person would answer differently. I need people around me. I cannot stay without, you know, having somebody near me or to talk to joke, to socialize, and so on. Somebody will say, I can't stand people. I have to be alone. I have to, you know, the introverts, as we call them. But it's a natural need. It's a natural um it's a human need, or how would you call it, to connect. Even if you are an introvert, there's a time once in a while when you have to be with other people. You have to connect. But then the question that comes now, and this is what the topic of our discussion today is, how much should I depend or expect from outside, from the other people, from the outside world? We, many of us spend a lot of time trying to win approval. You have to impress. We try to impress people, at least to uplift our ego or our value. We feel many a time we feel that we have to be valued by other people by doing something. And even some people go to the extent of pretending who they are or what they are just to win approval, just to get to notice, just to be seen, to be there. While they're not even there. They're not even able to do half of things they pretend or they claim they can do or they have. And it is this ego thing where we feel in order to be seen, to be known, we have to be big, to express ourselves hugely and so on. I want a bigger car than my neighbor. I want a better thing than my neighbor, and so that I can be noticed. And we see this in social media, for example, where people post all sorts of things in order to get a following or likes. And if they are criticized, they they go the other end of the extreme. But then, do we need approval from out there? Because who is going to give us approval? Because anytime anybody wants to give us approval, they are doing it from their own angle. Do we have what we have? Do we have what we, or rather, do we value ourselves? Or how do we value ourselves? Do we have to be praised or to be liked by other people in order to be who we are? Can't we just be who we are, whether we are liked or not? You can never be liked by everybody, and you cannot like. We were discussing what is love or what is like the other day in another forum. But you may not be able to love everybody, but obviously it doesn't mean you hate them. So we should be able to be ourselves first, accept ourselves, be sincere to ourselves, be honest to ourselves, and be what we are. rather than pretending to be what we are not just to win approval. And how many people out there are ready to give you approval, to give you ratings? It's better to be who you are and be able to live from your own natural situation rather than try to keep up with the Joneses. Well, those Joneses we used to be told about keeping up with the Joneses when you were in school. But maybe what we should be saying is keeping up with the Onyangos or the Mutuas or so on and so forth. Because even if your neighbor has a big car and you are envious of that car, you don't know how he got it. You don't know how much he struggled to get it. If he struggled, you don't know whether he stole it. But here you are getting stressed because you don't have a car like your neighbor. Why don't you just be proud or be happy with what you have, with what you can be, with what you can do? Why don't you just bless them for what they are? Because by blessing them that you receive blessings. Yeah. And you don't have to like measure your life or your value or your worth by the possessions. That's not your value. Your value or your worth is more than what you possess, physical possessions. Your value is inbuilt, inborn, and you express it, and you can express it by the way you live. Yeah? It's time you scratch beyond the surface and gotten the real you. The real you who is not affected by whether you have property, you don't have property, but you have life, you have breath, you have a consciousness that connects you to the one and all, the owner of everything, who gives as per your ability to express him or it through you. Yeah. So I guess it's time we looked within ourselves and accepted ourselves and let ourselves come out fully and express that expression that is struggling to come out from within. And it will not come out through the possessions you have. Although the possession is an expression, it's still an expression of the one. But it's not all. There's something bigger, there's something more golden, something more valuable within you that is trying to come out and shine. And that is not looking for likes or following by the multitude. And when you have it, it's just like the story where we have read before. The story where of this lady who found a gem or a pearl in her room, or lost it in her room and swept the whole night until she got it and celebrated throughout after she found it. I'm reminded of this story where this guy found treasure in the land, in a piece of land, and he went and sold everything in order to buy that piece of land and get that treasure. Because that treasure is all that matters. When you have it and when you know it, you will never unlearn it. And that was my wisdom spring for today. Thank you very much.